The sun was setting over the quiet suburbs of Willow Creek, casting an orange hue across the neighborhood. A gentle breeze ruffled the leaves, signaling the arrival of autumn. In a quaint two-story house nestled among the trees, a woman sat alone, her eyes burning with a mixture of anger and sorrow. Her name was Abby, a once cheerful and vibrant soul, now consumed by a storm of emotions. Abby had always been the epitome of kindness and grace. Her long, dark hair framed her delicate features, and her warm smile could light up any room. She was the kind of person who would go out of her way to help others, always putting their needs before her own. But tonight, her usually gentle eyes held a fierce determination. She sat in the living room, surrounded by the remnants of a life she had built with her high school sweetheart, Brett. Memories adorned the walls, pictures of their laughter-filled dates, vacations by the beach, and intimate moments. But now, those memories felt like a cruel mockery. Abby's fingers traced the edges of a photo frame, her mind replaying the events that had led her to this moment. It was a beautiful summer day when she had stumbled upon a text message on Brett's phone, a message that shattered her world. It was from her own sister, Sarah, a woman she had trusted and confided in. The message was innocent enough, but it was the subtle undertones and the frequency of their exchanges that raised Abby's suspicions. "Hey, can't wait for our study session later. It's been too long." At first, Abby had brushed it off, not wanting to believe that her sister and her boyfriend could be up to something. But the nagging feeling in her gut persisted, and she decided to confront Sarah. The conversation that ensued left Abby heartbroken. Sarah, overwhelmed with guilt, confessed to the affair, claiming it was a momentary lapse in judgment. She pleaded for Abby's forgiveness, but the damage was already done. Abby's heart ached as she realized the extent of the betrayal. Her sister, her confidant, had crossed a line that could never be uncrossed. The thought of Brett and Sarah together made her stomach churn. She felt violated, not just by her boyfriend's infidelity, but by her sister's betrayal of trust. In a fit of rage, Abby had stormed out of Sarah's apartment, leaving her sister in tears. She couldn't bear to look at Brett, let alone confront him. Instead, she sought solace in the comfort of her own home, a place now tainted by lies and deceit. As she sat there, lost in her thoughts, the sound of the front door opening startled her. Brett walked in, his tall frame filling the doorway. His dark hair was slightly disheveled, and his blue eyes held a hint of worry, as if he knew something was amiss. "Hey, babe," he said, his voice warm and familiar. "I thought I'd come home early to surprise you. How was your day?" Abby's eyes narrowed, and her jaw clenched. The sight of him ignited a fire within her, a mixture of love and hatred battling for dominance. She wanted to scream, to unleash her fury, but she remained calm, her voice steady. "My day was fine, Brett. How was yours?" Brett's smile faltered, sensing the underlying tension in her voice. He took a step forward, his eyes searching hers. "It was good, but I missed you. I wish I could spend more time with you, but work has been crazy lately." Abby's gaze hardened. "I'm sure it has. So, how's Sarah doing? I haven't heard from her in a while." Brett's expression froze, his eyes widening slightly. He knew he had been caught, but he tried to maintain his composure. "Sarah? She's good, I guess. Why do you ask?" Abby stood up, her movements graceful yet filled with restrained anger. "Don't play dumb, Brett. I know about you and Sarah. I know about your little study sessions." Brett's face paled, and he took a step back, his hands raised in surrender. "Abby, it's not what you think. It was just a fling, a mistake. It meant nothing." Abby's laughter was bitter and cold. "A mistake? Is that what you call it? You cheated on me with my own sister, and you dare call it a mistake?" Brett's voice cracked as he tried to defend himself. "It was a moment of weakness, Abby. I love you, and I never meant to hurt you. Please, let me explain." But Abby was beyond explanations. She had trusted him with her heart, and he had shattered it into a million pieces. The thought of their intimate moments now sickened her. She felt betrayed, not just by Brett but by the very foundation of their relationship. "Save your excuses, Brett. I don't want to hear them. You had your chance to be honest and you chose to lie. You chose my sister over me." Her voice trembled, but her resolve remained strong. Brett's eyes pleaded for forgiveness, but Abby's heart had turned to stone. She turned away from him, her eyes fixed on the photo frame in her hand. "I want you to leave, Brett. Pack your things and get out. I never want to see you again." Brett's shoulders slumped, and he stood there, defeated. "Abby, please. I love you. We can work this out. I'll do anything to make it right." Abby's laughter was hollow. "You had your chance, and you blew it. I trusted you, and you broke that trust. Get out, before I call the police." With a heavy heart, Brett nodded, his eyes filled with regret. He turned and walked towards the bedroom, his steps heavy. Abby watched him go, her heart aching with every step. Despite the pain, she knew she had made the right decision. As Brett gathered his belongings, Abby's mind raced with thoughts of revenge. She wanted to make them pay, to teach them a lesson they would never forget. But as she watched Brett leave, his shoulders hunched and his head hung low, she realized that the greatest punishment was not in physical retribution but in the emotional scars they would carry.